Have you ever wondered why you're drawn to certain people instantly, while others don't spark the same feeling? Maybe you've locked eyes with someone and felt that sudden rush of excitement. Or maybe there's a friend you've always just clicked with. Attraction can feel mysterious, almost magical. But underneath those butterflies and racing heartbeats, there's a whole world of science at play. Attraction isn't just about physical looks, though that's definitely part of it. It's a mix of biology, psychology, and even culture shaping the way we connect. From hormones to body language to shared values, there are so many invisible forces guiding who we're drawn to. And that's what makes this topic so fascinating. It's not random at all. There's a reason your brain and body react the way they do when someone catches your eye. So let's start by taking a look at what's happening behind the scenes. When you feel that spark, your brain is working like a supercomputer, processing cues in milliseconds. One of the first things it picks up on is appearance. Yes, but not in a superficial way. Humans evolved to notice certain physical traits because they signal health, vitality, and strength. Clear skin, symmetrical features, and even posture can all unconsciously influence how attractive someone seems. We're not actively thinking, wow, their skin is clear, they must be healthy. It's more like our brain is scanning for signs that this person could be a good partner, even if we're not looking for one. But attraction doesn't end at looks. It's actually far more about chemistry. And I mean that literally. Your brain releases a cocktail of chemicals when you're around someone you like. Dopamine, often called the feel-good chemical, spikes when we're excited or anticipating something rewarding. This is why your heart races or your palms sweat when you're talking to someone. It's your body's way of saying, pay attention, this could be important. Oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone, also plays a huge role. It's released during moments of closeness, like a hug or even just prolonged eye contact, and it deepens emotional connection. That's why even small touches or shared glances can feel so powerful. Then there's adrenaline, which gives you that jittery, almost nervous energy that makes attraction so exhilarating and a little overwhelming. Here's something that might surprise you. Attraction is also heavily influenced by smell, even though we rarely think about it consciously. Every person has a unique scent created by their body chemistry, and research shows that we're subconsciously drawn to scents that are genetically different from our own. Why? Because nature is wired to encourage genetic diversity, which makes offspring healthier. You may not notice it, but your nose is quietly helping you pick potential partners. And of course, there's the psychological piece. We're naturally drawn to people who remind us of comfort, safety, and familiarity. This doesn't mean you're looking for someone who's exactly like your family or friends, but we tend to feel more at ease around people who share similar backgrounds, values, or personality traits. Familiarity feels safe to the brain, and safety is attractive. On the flip side, there's also something called the novelty effect, where we're excited by people who are different from us. That thrill of the unknown can be intoxicating. This is why some people are drawn to partners with completely different lifestyles or personalities. It's the brain's way of seeking stimulation and growth. Both familiarity and novelty can be powerful forces of attraction, and often we're drawn to a mix of both. Let's talk about personality. Confidence is one of the most attractive traits across all cultures, and it's not hard to see why. Confidence signals that someone is capable, secure in themselves, and able to handle challenges. It doesn't mean arrogance. True confidence is calm and grounded, and it makes people feel safe and inspired. Humor is another universal factor. Laughter creates connection, lowers stress, and builds trust, which is why a good sense of humor is so often at the top of people's must-have lists in a partner. Even small details about the way someone communicates can influence attraction. The way they hold eye contact, the warmth in their tone of voice, or their ability to listen deeply can make a huge difference in how connected we feel. Humans are wired to seek emotional connection, so when someone makes us feel understood, we naturally find them more appealing. But here's something most people don't realize. Timing matters a lot in attraction. If you meet someone when you're feeling confident, open, and in a good place in life, you're far more likely to feel drawn to them than if you were stressed or closed off. Attraction is dynamic. It changes with our experiences, our mindset, and even the phase of life we're in. That's why someone you didn't notice before can suddenly seem incredibly appealing once your circumstances shift. Another fascinating aspect is how cultural and societal norms shape what we find attractive. What's considered beautiful or appealing in one culture can be completely different in another. These standards change over time too. For example, certain body types or styles have gone in and out of fashion over the decades. Our environment and exposure to media have a powerful influence on how we perceive attractiveness, even if we don't consciously agree with those standards. And then there's something scientists call reciprocal liking. This is the idea that we're far more likely to be attracted to someone who shows interest in us. It sounds obvious, but the science behind it is fascinating. When we feel liked or admired, it boosts our self-esteem and makes the other person seem more appealing. This creates a positive feedback loop where mutual attraction grows naturally. All of these factors, biology, psychology, chemistry, timing, and culture, work together in ways we don't always notice. Attraction isn't just one thing. It's a web of signals, emotions, and instincts layered over years of evolution and shaped by our personal experiences. That's why it feels so powerful, and why we can't always explain why we're drawn to someone. So, if you've ever been frustrated by attraction or felt like it's a mystery, the truth is, there's a fascinating mix of science and emotion happening every time you feel a spark. You're not weird for liking someone others don't find attractive, and you're not broken if someone doesn't feel the same way. Attraction is deeply personal, but also universal, and understanding it can make us more compassionate to ourselves and to others. We'll dive even deeper into this in part 2, where we'll explore the science of body language, subtle psychological cues, and how attraction evolves over time. But for now, I'd love to know, have you ever been surprised by who you're attracted to? Drop your story in the comments below, and let's see how different yet similar our experiences really are. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more psychology content, and share this with someone who's fascinated by the science of human connection. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part. So now that we've talked about the science of chemistry and brain signals, let's take a closer look at one of the most powerful and often overlooked parts of attraction: body language. The fascinating thing is that so much of attraction happens without a single word being spoken. In fact, research suggests that up to 90% of our communication is nonverbal. That means your body is sending signals long before your brain even realizes what's happening. Think about the last time you found yourself drawn to someone. Did you notice yourself leaning in just a little closer when they talked? Or maybe your feet unconsciously pointed toward them, even in a group setting. These are subtle but powerful signals. Your body naturally positions itself toward people you feel connected to or curious about. It's like your subconscious is saying, "I like this person," even if you're trying to play it cool. One of the strongest indicators of attraction is eye contact. When we're drawn to someone, we instinctively hold their gaze a little longer than usual. This isn't just a social habit. It actually triggers a chemical reaction in the brain. Prolonged eye contact releases oxytocin, that bonding hormone we talked about earlier, which helps create feelings of closeness and trust. That's why looking into someone's eyes can feel so intense. It's literally rewiring your brain in real time. Mirroring is another fascinating cue.
When two people are attracted to each other, they often unconsciously mimic each other's body language. If one person crosses their legs, the other might do the same. If one leans in, the other follows. This mirroring creates a sense of connection and similarity, which the brain interprets as compatibility. It's like your bodies are having a silent conversation, agreeing that you're on the same wavelength. Now, let's talk about posture. People who are attracted to someone often subconsciously open up their body language. This means uncrossed arms, shoulders back, and a relaxed stance that signals confidence and approachability. On the flip side, when someone isn't interested, they may subconsciously close off, crossing their arms, turning their body away, or avoiding eye contact. These cues are often subtle, but once you know what to look for, you start noticing them everywhere. Touch is another key factor. Even small, seemingly casual touches can spark attraction. A light brush on the arm during a conversation or a playful tap on the shoulder can release dopamine and make interactions feel more exciting. Touch also breaks down psychological barriers, making us feel closer and more connected to the other person. Of course, comfort levels with touch vary widely, but when it's mutual and natural, it's one of the most powerful attraction signals there is. Smiling is another universal cue. A genuine smile not only signals warmth and friendliness, but also activates reward centers in the brain of the person receiving it. That's why a smile can feel magnetic. It makes people feel good, safe, and understood. Interestingly, studies have shown that people who smile more often are perceived as more attractive, regardless of other physical traits. It's a simple, powerful signal of positive energy. Voice also plays a surprisingly big role in attraction. When we're interested in someone, our tone of voice often softens and our pitch can subtly shift. For men, voices may deepen slightly, while women's voices may become softer or lighter. These small adjustments happen instinctively and can make a big impact on how connected and drawn we feel to one another. But here's what makes body language so fascinating. Most of these signals are subconscious. You're not sitting there thinking, I'm going to mirror this person's movements to show I like them. Your brain is running these programs automatically, honed over millions of years of human evolution. Attraction is deeply primal, and these body language cues are some of our oldest social tools for connection. There's also something really interesting about micro-expressions. These are tiny, fleeting facial expressions that reveal emotion even when someone is trying to hide it. A quick eyebrow raise, a brief smile, or a slight widening of the eyes can all indicate interest or excitement. These signals happen in a fraction of a second, but our brains are surprisingly good at picking them up, even if we're not consciously aware of it. Another powerful factor is proximity. When we like someone, we instinctively reduce the space between us. Even in a group setting, you might notice that people who are drawn to each other often stand or sit closer together without realizing it. This closeness signals trust and comfort, and when someone allows you into their personal space, it's a strong sign of attraction. And then there's laughter. Humor is one of the most underrated yet powerful attraction tools. When we laugh with someone, it creates a sense of bonding and releases feel-good chemicals in the brain. It's not just about being funny, it's about creating shared emotional experiences. That's why a person's sense of humor can make them significantly more attractive, even if they don't fit your type physically. What's truly amazing is that body language doesn't just signal attraction, it can actually create it. Studies have shown that when people make deliberate eye contact, smile, or lean in, it can increase feelings of closeness and interest, even if those feelings weren't strong at first. So, body language is not just a reflection of attraction, but also a tool to build it. When you combine these subtle cues, eye contact, mirroring, smiling, voice tone, proximity, you get this intricate dance of nonverbal communication that's happening all the time. It's why some interactions feel magnetic and effortless, while others feel awkward or disconnected. Your brain is constantly reading these signals, and whether or not you're aware of it, they shape your perception of someone almost instantly. What's even more fascinating is that these cues aren't just used in romantic attraction. They apply to friendships and social bonds too. Humans are wired to connect, and these signals are part of a universal language that helps us form relationships, find safety in others, and build trust. So even when you're not looking for romance, these same subconscious cues are influencing how you connect with people every single day. Understanding body language doesn't just help you see attraction more clearly. It can help you feel more confident in your own interactions. When you're aware of the signals you're sending, you can communicate openness, warmth, and interest more intentionally. And sometimes, just a little self-awareness can make a huge difference in how people respond to you. In the next part, we'll dive into something just as fascinating: how attraction evolves over time. We'll explore how relationships change from that initial spark to deeper emotional bonds, and why long-term attraction is about so much more than chemistry. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it, and let me know in the comments if you've ever noticed someone's body language giving them away it happens more than you think.
Attraction doesn't stay the same.
It evolves. That first spark is exciting, but long-term attraction is built on trust, emotional intimacy, and shared experiences. Over time, your brain shifts from dopamine-driven excitement to oxytocin-fueled bonding, creating a deeper, more secure connection. Lasting relationships thrive not just on chemistry, but on consistent care, respect, and emotional safety, because true attraction isn't just about who excites you, but who makes you feel at home. Thanks for watching. If you found this deep dive into the science of attraction fascinating, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Drop your thoughts or experiences with attraction in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And don't forget to share this with a friend who's curious about the psychology behind connection.